Hello everybody and welcome to the Alien vs Predator Galaxy YouTube channel. I'm Aaron Percival, aka Corporal Hicks.
And I'm Adam Zeller, aka RidgeTop.
We're back for another motion tracker video talking about some of the recent news. What have we got today, Adam?
So today we have a new piece by IGN showing off 6 of the new Xenomorph enemy types.
New.
Yes, new. Well, some of them are new.
Some of them are new.
But yeah, this is continuing on with their month-long exclusive coverage for Aliens Fireteam. So, Aaron, if you want to pull up these special aliens we have here, I believe there will be 20 enemy types total, and 11 of those will be Xenomorphs. So this is 6 of the 11, and we've seen 2 more.
So first up we have the Burster. So one of the fun things as well was that the IGN article also came with a little paragraph about some of the lore behind these aliens in the game. And this one was actually a pretty fun one to start off with, because though they generally behave like runners, bursters are more dangerous. When slain, their bodies explode into a lethal pool of acid. The species they gestate within is not yet known, but likely indigenous to redacted. In short, don't kill them up close. Now, I actually like that one. That tickles me. The whole thing about the species they gestate within is not known. And just since I like dipping into every little damn bit of lore elsewhere, just those little nuggets and stuff.
Hints
like
at
that.
some new DNA reflex action going on. Interesting with all the yellow, glowy, bulbous bits on the head and body. It really reminds me of, I hate to make this comparison because people are doing it too much, but Colonial Marines. Not only the spitter that they had in that game, but also the boiler. The boiler too, but in the PvP, like customizable multiplayer stuff, some of the heads had like a lot of glowing parts just covering the whole head, some of the spitter variants. So it kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, when I first heard Burster, I thought, oh, are they bringing the boilers back? But no, this looks a lot like a runner that can just explode on you.
Indeed. How do you feel about? I mean, I know you said the comparisons to ACM are coming up a lot, but it is the Burster is very ACM, and I think a little bit the other stuff we're going to see pulls a little bit on ACM as well.
I don't mind it. I feel like ACM was all right in concept. It just was failed in execution. And I do think some of the customizable aliens in multiplayer were really cool. And I honestly did not mind the designs too much. I thought the warriors in ACM were a little small, which this game has already corrected that. The warriors look a lot bigger in this game. But as far as like the alien designs in ACM, I never had too much of a problem with it. But I think that this game is kind of a logical. We want to see different Xenomorph types that we haven't seen before to make it interesting, but it's not going as far into Kenner territory. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's still a bit restrained.
I'll always give the expanded universe, and especially the games, a bit of leeway when it comes to that kind of thing, because you do need unit variety. So, I mean, I guess you could say all aliens should really, be quite lethal when you kill them. But in terms of just giving units that extra little bit of variety, I don't mind it. And I have always liked the the green glow aesthetic.
Yeah,
so that does look like it has eyes there. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, kind of. Now that you pointed that out, I'm not going to be able to unsee. But no, I don't mind it. Looks cool to me. The model is very detailed. With all the models we're going to go through here, I was really impressed. We actually asked one of the Cold Iron guys on Twitter if these are in-engine models, and they are. So
that was Matt Hyson, one of the, I think is the CCO of not Ilphonic, that's the other game, of Cold Iron. So he said on Twitter. On to the next one then, who's a big boy.
We have this game's version of Stompy called the Drone. But I like this model a lot. I don't think the legs, the digigrade, I mean, it does have the digigrade legs, but I don't think they are quite as long as Stompies. Because when I was seeing this one move around in the gameplay video and the trailer, it kind of walked more like on its feet, as opposed to the digigrade legs were not quite as prominent in the walking animation. At least that's what I noticed. But yeah, very, very reminiscent of Stompy, but still a new original big chap looking model.
I'm quite happy here.
Yeah, no, I think it looks great.
Team score.
And when we get these new models, a lot of them are used in other media. Like we've seen Stompy used, I think in a few of the books covers. Has he been used?
I think so.
Yeah. I believe the recent ones, Into Tridbis and Infiltrator, were both based on Stompy. I don't know if that's entirely new model or not. But yeah, this one looks really good. I really like the looks of this one.
And so the lore on this one, as far as Fireteam is concerned, is though considered workers within the hierarchy of a xenomorph hive, drones are opportunistic hunters known for their ability to navigate air shafts seemingly too small for them. Moving silently through the walls, they burst out to seize and maul victims before disappearing again. In other words, kill them quickly before they run away, only to return and cause you bigger headaches later. So yeah, that was behavior that we saw in the gameplay footage. And again, sorry to make the comparison, but it is how ACM treated the lurkers as well, which was never a problem. So I'm actually quite happy to see that that return.
Yeah, very, very hit and run tactics. I mean, we saw that in the gameplay video. It's the same thing with the lurkers. But that was one of the better elements of ACM, I thought. I thought the lurkers were tricky enemies to deal with in that. So if they could push that concept even further here, I think it could work. As far as design-wise goes, it definitely leans more towards Stompy than what we saw with the lurkers in ACM.
For sure. And the next up is just... Well, I thought it was a quick comparison. Hang on. Forgive me. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's just a quick comparison to Stompy from Isolation. Do you want to be a whore here?
Well, yeah, I took this screenshot in Alien Isolation with a injectable mod called Alias Isolation for the PC version of the game. So if you do want to go in and take screenshots of this game, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. I still wish the game would be re-released with like proper VR and a photo mode and a next-gen upgrade. Like that would be so awesome. But until then, if you do want to play around with a photo mode, you'll have to do it that way. But now, looking at it now, those digigrade legs, they are pretty similar in length. Maybe Stompy's is a little bit longer, but
yeah, I think that looks the middle bit here is the one that looks shorter.
Yeah. He just kind of ran differently. I'll have to compare it when I watch the video. I love that rib cage too. That looks pretty cool.
Quite. I mean, Stompy looks a bit more tan in beige in color.
That might be the lighting in that theater area, though.
Maybe. No, I actually quite like the coloration, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do really like that. I don't think there's any of these that I don't like. So, who is next? The Praetorian. So this is a completely new take.
Yeah, we've never seen a Praetorian with glowy bits before. This one actually reminds me more of the spitter that we saw of ACM. More so than the spitter we're going to see here in a second for this game.
Especially with we've got the glowy bits here. The way the head crests out as well. Because we've seen this on a different screenshot and we didn't know what it was at the time because like the whole front of it here, you can't really see it in the screenshot, but it was all bone kind of white. And I actually get a little bit of Crusher vibes as well.
Yeah. When I first saw the initial trailer, I thought this was a Crusher, just the way it was kind of like it was almost like a guerrilla run towards the Fireteam members.
And lore-wise on this one is, again, this one made me smile. Among the largest varieties of Xenomorph XX121, Praetorians are extraordinarily difficult to kill, with a bulletproof armored headplate used for ramming charges. Focus your fire or face the consequences. So I like that it mentioned XX121 in there. That is actually my preferred name for the aliens, just as a designator. It was one of the things that the Weyland-Yutani report did that I really like. But again, also in the comparison to behavior, it talks about using its armored headplate to ram. So that's more charger behavior there. Again, not a bad thing, in my opinion. I do, again, I really like it. The models look fantastic.
Yeah, they really do look great.
Now, I think this is the controversial one. This is the Prowler.
Yeah. This one is getting closer to Kenner. This one kind of reminds me of the Jaguar alien, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm. So, lore-wise for this, we've got Prowlers prefer to leap atop their prey from close range, knocking them to the ground to be clawed or bitten. They can be easily distinguished from other quadruped morphs, by their reddish, scalloped carapace. Even one of these guys can be extremely problematic amongst a large group of Xenos. So, I don't mind the Kenner vibes. I never have for games again.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it personally. It looks cool to me.
I like the red look to it, to be honest. And again, sorry, comparisons to ACM. This one's got a bit of lurker behavior, as well as the head itself actually looks more like the Charger than this game's Fireteam's Praetorian does.
Yeah.
No, so they're going all out with every quadruped has no bagpipes in this one, which I like.
Yeah,
I like.
I mean, I've been playing through the Rebellion's AVP Classic 2000 on Steam recently, and the Praetorian in that one is kind of a quadruped, I think.
Yeah, it gallops at you to start with. But again, that still had the crest. I think the games is where the crest came from. I mean, I don't think any of the comics, their Praetorians ever did that. There was the Royal Guards from Female War, Earth Hive, and then I think you see some dead ones again in Rogue. They were always with tusks rather than crests. So yeah, that's a game specific thing. And of course, the runner.
Good old runner. So this is great. I really like how this runner looks. I think it's kind of a faithful emulation of ADI's design for that. The last one I think we saw was probably what do they call it? The jungle alien in 2010.
Yeah, Evolution had some though, because
that's right. Yeah, Evolution did have one. But yeah, I definitely think this looks really good. The color is spot on, I think.
Even the reflectiveness of the dome at the front.
Yeah, and I really like how it goes from the black in the front to the gray in the back. That's really nice.
I like even the back here. I really like how that looks.
Yeah. Very spiky.
Nice. Very nice. And they do seem to be this game's fodder.
Yeah, like the default kind of alien. I've seen some people saying, "Man, there's a lot of runners. Where was this a station full of like dogs or something?"
Well, I mean, don't we know from the book that there's a station or a refinery in orbit of?
Yeah. So I'll be curious to check out Infiltrator and see. I mean, that should be hopefully a pretty good setup for this game. Hopefully, we finally have a killer game tie-in after, Isolation and Stalking Shadows, and or are those the only two?
Recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in general, yeah. So the lore for this one, again, seeming to hint more towards this being the game's de facto alien, is runners are pack hunters, preferring to attack in large groups who charge in at high speeds to swipe prey with their claws. Runners also use a distinctive circling attack to whip foes with their serrated tails. Shotguns might be useful against these beasts given their speed. So I like the thing in here about it being pack hunters because it goes towards the animalistic nature of wolves kind of thing, the quadrupeds kind of feel to it. So I like that. I like the wolf nature of it. And the last is this game's incarnation of the Spitter. So the Spitter did come from Colonial Marines. I'm so sorry. Colonial Marines just keeps being brought up all the time. But there is
the jungle aliens in AVP 2010 were spitters. They would spit acid at you from afar, even though they were just the runner model.
But to be fair, that comes back to Alien 3 because that spits acid in there.
Right, in the fan sequence.
Mm-hmm. So it is a feature that they've had in the films, but was never really exploited too much in the games until you did have the Jungle Hunter spitting, and then Colonial Marines did just amp it up.
Yeah.
Now, he looks nothing like the Spitter from Colonial Marines. If anything...
Yeah, his front half is leaning towards white, and you're going to pull up the comparison here in a second, Aaron, with
I think
Covenant.
It looks... Pose-wise, anyway, I think it looks like this guy. The Xenomorph.
Yeah, I can see some design cues.
But I think that's more coincidental, to be honest. I think it's just a pose.
I like it. I honestly like the way this one looks more than the one we had in ACM.
I mean, you've still got the glowy acid stuff to denote the the acid spitting reserves, I guess. And I do like some of the grey-white coloration of it as well. If it did have anything to do with the Xenomorphs, I wouldn't be upset.
I would.
In fact, you would because you just hate the prequels wholesale. But I would be quite happy to see the Xenomorph show up in the game, to be honest.
We'll see. So we have we know of two others that are not being shown here, which is the Aliens Warrior, the Cameron style, as well as the Queen.
Although somebody on the board said the Queen doesn't count towards the number because she's a boss.
Okay.
I don't know where that information's come from though. So
okay, so in that case, we have 7 we've seen so far, which leaves 4 that we do not know of.
I'm really interested to see what they come up with. I really am, because I mean, again, like I say, I give leeway to the games to explore these kind of cast systems and do crazy stuff with units just for variety's sake.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, I wasn't trying to bash Kenner earlier. I have all the Kenner stuff, and I like the Kenner stuff.
See, I'm still waiting for my bull figure from NECA, the reinterpretation of the bull from Kenner's line. So, if Cold Iron want to throw me a bull in here, I'll be quite happy.
I like how we both have our Aliens shirts going on too.
Yeah, but mine's actually from Aliens.
That's true. This is, what is this one? This is Resurrection, right? I think.
Yeah.
Or no, that was AVP. That was promo art for AVP. But I got this when I was in London when we went to Forbidden Planet.
Was that when you came around? When we met up?
Yeah.
Okay.
2017.
Cool. 1,000 years ago. Do you have any preferred or some sort of casts or creatures you'd like to see show up as one of these mystery?
I'm trying to think if there's anything that we've seen in other games that we're not seeing here.
Predator?
How did the Praetorians look in ACM?
They weren't in ACM.
That's right. That's why I can't remember that.
I think, I mean, with ACM, the Spitters had the crests. The Crusher kind of had a crest. And I think functionally, the Raven sort of took its place as a boss.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So the last Praetorians in the games we saw was
2010.
Evolution, if you count that. But
yeah. Although 2010's Praetorians were really good. I really liked the encounters with that one because they were huge and beastly. They think they threw you around the map, didn't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, how about everybody else out there? Is there any variants you'd like to see from any of the other media?
Oh, I know. The Pred Alien.
It's an aliens license. It's not an AVP license.
I know.
But no, I mean, if the burst is any indication that they're going to be, playing with the DNA reflex, it'd be interesting to see where they take that.
Yeah, definitely.
Go nuts, Cold Iron, I say. Just don't do anything ridiculous like the boilers design. That thing was...
Hey, that made for some good memes and GIFs. Come on.
Yeah, but the first playthrough was all right, but then it just became laughable.
I remember the first time we played through that sequence, we actually thought it was kind of cool and creepy.
Yeah, but then it became not
play through ACM again. That's on the Let's Play list. I think we're going to be doing
on the Let's Play list.
I think we're going to be doing Classic 2000 next, but after that, I'm going to be batting for ACM.
Masochist, I guess.
Yeah.
We've got to play it with the mods and the AI fix.
All we have to do is change tether and fix that typo. That's it. Other than that, I want to go whatever the last patch was, not all the Templar FX ones, which are great. Those are great, but I still want to see the state that the game was in when it was officially support ended with that typo fixed.
Okay. Well, anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed this little look and rundown of the new aliens. Well, some new aliens and some reinterpretations of aliens from Fireteam. Any comments, anything you guys and girls would like to see in the game, any variants that's been out there? Would you like to see the drone show as the albino drone?
I got more. So AVP Extinction, we got the Ravager, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be kind of cool.
What about the carrier flinging facehuggers at you as well?
Yeah. I forgot about the Xenomorph types in that game. That had a few interesting ones.
I was thinking about playing that earlier. I was like, I'm really in the mood for something with crazy alien types in it. Yeah, anyway, shall I attempt to wrap up for the third time?
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead and wrap up.
I don't even know where to go from here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I've already left all the spiel before. As always, if you like what you've been seeing, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification button so you don't miss out on all the other content that we share as well. I'm currently working on my Engineering Prometheus article video, and I'm trying to poke Adam into finishing his Prometheus AVP similarities thing as well. We'll of course have new podcasts and Let's Plays as well. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been Corporal Hicks
and RidgeTop,
and see you next time.